Time to get in the game. Time to get in the game. Madame Tusspells. I don't even know who that is. Hurley told me, but he told me keep it a secret from you, Runo. What are we keeping a secret from? What are we investigating? Gina. Are we trying to get to court? I think we're up and running now, aren't we? I think I've looked at everything now. Did I take the thing from you? I think I took it now, didn't I? But this one I didn't take. Move. Ah, we have a new place. Madame Tusspells. Oh, that's a little bit like Madame Tussauds, probably, isn't it? It didn't lag when you were trying to ride giant cricket slots. I know! Like on Wednesday I was doing Wukong and it didn't lag. And like Wukong is a much more demanding game, so I don't really understand. I don't understand. Hectic. Right, okay. So because I was all flustered and confused and the thinging didn't happen, I didn't have the time to say what I wanted to say. So for a very brief moment before we continue, I'm gonna go back to my courtroom, and then we're gonna pretend like we're gonna put all of this behind us. The things that just happened, all the difficulty. We're just gonna be like, okay, we're back in court. And I welcome you all to my stream that has only just started. Only just now. Right? Right, everyone? Only just now we started streaming right on time, exactly as planned, without any difficulty. Because who needs difficulty when everything is running smoothly? Just like the rest of the world. So welcome. Welcome you all. How are you? How's it going? How is your day going? Are you having a nice, lovely, late spring afternoon or evening or morning or wherever you are in the world, whatever time it might be? Because, you know, fun fact, all the times, all the hours of the day exist at the same time simultaneously everywhere in the world. Not all the times, but all the hours. So somewhere it's 12, and then somewhere else it's 1, somewhere else it's 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, and all the way up to 24. And then you start at the beginning. And that is how time works. And my brain collapsed there for a moment. But so before we get into it, I have a little bit of an exciting announcement. Next week, well, first the sad news. Next week, I'm probably not going to have time to stream Ace Attorney, or Great Ace Attorney. I might have time for one stream, so maybe I'm going to do Wukong on Wednesday. And then after that, I'm going to leave for a little trip to go to Germany. But on Monday night, which is like, and it's going to be quite late my time. It's going to be like 12:30 a.m. my time, but I think 7:30 evening somewhere in the US. I'm going to be joining another stream of Ace Attorney with a team, with another channel called Save Data Team. I don't know if you all have heard of them. And they are streaming one of the investigations games, I think. And I'm gonna be a little guest speaker, streamer person that says stuff. Yeah, we're gonna try that. It's gonna be like super late at night for me, so I hope that I'm gonna be like up and awake, and gonna be able to give it my all. But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun, and I'm very excited to do that and like stream with some other people. You know, rather than just me talking to myself like a mad person. Yeah, so I'm very excited about that. Back up to the game before anymore. And now, and without further ado, after we've done this little announcement, And I'm gonna get right back to the game. But yeah, I hope y'all can join me on that. And then I'll see if I do have time for Great Ace Attorney, but it's just gonna be a little bit tight, I think. So yeah. Anyway, that's my little announcement. And now, for the very first time in this stream, I'm gonna go to the gameplay. We're gonna play the game. The game that we're playing is the game that gets played. Yes. It's gonna be very interesting seeing you in that you're seeing the game without having played the trilogy. Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna just go in blind and just see what happens. I think I get the vibe of the games now, And even though I don't know some of the references, I'm sure it's gonna be great. Anyway. And now we're gonna go to Madame Tusspells. Madame Tusspells. 22nd October. Madame Tusspells. Museum of Wax. Yeah, that is like Madame Tussauds, isn't it? I've never been to Madame Tussauds. I always thought it was a little bit strange. Like these sort of... It's like the uncanny valley where you're like standing next to people. It's like, yo, this is real, kind of-ish. Almost too real, but almost not. You've been to the one in DC? I've never been to... I've only... I think when I was in Hong Kong, I saw a... It wasn't a wax figure, but a statue that looked quite real of Bruce Lee, I think. What is this place? And why is it all murder? Look at all these terrifying scenes. Why are all the people so still? Guillotines, ruthless murderers. I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight. Murder, murder.
They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Bruno? Shocked? Huh?
Wax models? I read about dead bodies and wax once in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how corpses are after death, parts of them can turn into wax. Apparently, it's called adipocere? I have no idea how to pronounce that word.
Stop talking about creepy things like that, Bruno. You're scaring me. Anyway, adipocere doesn't form readily,
What the hell?
What now?
I've just remembered something else I read in another magazine about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display.
None of the exhibits in here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas.
They can't be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them.
Oh.
There's no way anybody could make models of people that are this realistic. Ah, there he is. And they are all such gruesome scenes. And then there's this man with a gun and a cat mask, just chilling, with his chest half out. Wait.
What is it?
No, I must be seeing things. What? What? I mean, that was very clearly our man, wasn't it? Hello? It's the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes has his own wax statue in here? Really? No, that is the actual Mr. Sholmes, just chilling there, isn't it?
Well, we is world famous after all.
It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? It makes my skin crawl to look at it.
I know. But look, Runo, you can kick this early, and he doesn't move a muscle.
Oh shit, so it is actually the... Even for the wax figurine, they've changed the, They've changed the... Oh, yeah, there he is. Changing. See, it is not wax. You can't go around kicking the exhibits, Iris. Wait! It just moved. I'm sure of it. And not just a little bit either. I knew it.
Really? Did it?
And look closely. There are beads of sweat on the face of this waxwork model? Wait, I missed the animation. What animation? I don't think I missed it. I thought I saw it. Can I kick him again? I thought I saw him go like, ugh. No? Is that not what he did? Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look, there's a great murder scene to enjoy. Much more appealing.
Hold it!
My dear fella, I take exception to your recoiling in such a manner as if you've seen something truly abhorrent.
Mr. Sholmes.
I knew it. Iris, what possessed you?
I strictly forbade you from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruhodo. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean?
And that kick.
Could you not have exercised a little more restraint? You winded me.
But Runo has something he needs to ask you.
Ah, a question.
And I thought you'd probably be getting bored too. So here we are.
Well, I can't deny that your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 minutes more being stationary like that. And my great brain, upon which all my success has been built, would have turned to wax. Thank goodness we arrived in time. Aha, indeed. In many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss. My brain.
Oh, early. You do like to talk nonsense, do you?
He could know something, it's true, about Lord Van Zeeks and what happened in the past to change him. Now that you're here, let's take our time. How can I be of assistance? For you're in luck. I'm suddenly quite taken with the idea of conversing. Oh, well, actually, I'm in quite a hurry. And if my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. A most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken. Really? Moreover, I have a strong suspicion that it is related to the matter about which you've come to me now. But how could it be? We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow, but for now, I must return to my work. Isn't presently like now? Isn't that how it works? What? Back to being a temporary waxwork exhibit? What a strange man. What is this place? Okay, so Madame Tusspells came to London from France 3 years ago, I understand. Since she opened this little waxwork museum last year, it's enjoyed great popularity in London. There are museums like this in Japan too, but these displays are something else. I mean, they aren't made from actual real people, are they? The extreme realism of these waxwork models is a particular secret of the Tusspells family, they say. They earned renown during the French Revolution for waxworks of victims of the guillotine. Ugh, that sounds grim. The gruesome scenes were portrayed in such realism in the expressions of the faces of the condemned.
Apparently, The sculptors will make the models directly from the corpses, right there at the site of the executions.
That really turns my stomach.
That's just one of the several legends about the Tusspells family. Whether there's any truth in it, I couldn't say. But anyway, this museum houses models of famous people from all over the globe. Nevertheless, the most popular area of the museum by quite some margin is this House of Horrors.
The House of Horrors?
Of course, visitor numbers are dwindling now as a result of the Great Exhibition. But people usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals at their gruesome work. Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here were sent to the gallows, so they are even stiffer now than the models of them.
Have you heard of poor taste?
My dear fellow, the public live for poor taste. They yearn to be shocked. Just like you all, right? You love it.
That's why Iris has this voice, because you yearn to be shocked.
All right.
So, the hideous exhibits in here are...
They're all portrayals of real events that actually took place.
Is it just me, or did the temperature in here just seem to drop? My poor taste in Baroque's character. I don't know what you mean, Ballarov. I think it's spot on. This is why true crime podcasts. I think that's very true, isn't it?
Anyway, I advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here.
Oh, he's back to being a waxwork, is he? All right, tell us about why you're doing this. What do you mean by a temporary waxwork, Mr. Sholmes?
Exactly what you see. I'm part of the exhibits here, catching these criminals in the act.
Catching them? Oh, what's up, Twi Fairy? How you doing?
Every half an hour, I home in on a different killer in one of the displays and adopt a new pose to ensnare him. When members of the public come for a closer look, I offer them my hand to shake.
Yeah, that would be terrifying.
For a shilling, I'll happily allow them to take a photograph with us.
Oh, he's like at a con, isn't he? Us? Does he mean him and the waxwork murderers in here? Speaking of which, I will be at a con, right? Next month in... When was it again? Was it 12th of June, I think, or something? In Birmingham. At Anime Con. So if you're near Birmingham, you can come to Anime Con. I'm a con man, yes. It's also called an actor. That is me. But why, Mr. Sholmes? Oh, LC. Always on it. But why, Mr. Sholmes?
My dear fellow, isn't it obvious?
For the money. Hey, Sholmes is just trying to make bank, man. I relate. Sometimes it's good to have a little bit of money in it. He really roared at me there. Very fitting for the House of Horrors. You've got rehearsals for a show all through June. That's exciting. No worries. I hope your show goes really well.
As it stands, I may struggle to pay this month's rent, and I have the ravenous Iris to consider.
Aw, poor Sholmes. I feel bad now. I want to send him some money. Here, come on, Sholmes. Here's something. Digitally. I mean, a pound in the late 19th century would be probably a lot of money, wouldn't it? Would be a ton of money if I could send a pound back in time. He will squander it. Oh no.
Oh, Early, I'm so hungry. Maybe if I eat, my voice will sort itself out.
If push comes to shove, I shall have to ask you to do your bit, Mr. Naruhodo. What's he threatening to rope me into now? So, with that in mind, how about a photograph? As a special treat, you may have your pick of the murderers and scoundrels in here. The choice is yours. She's so hungry. Poor little girl. What are you doing?
Ugh. It is actually sad. In London, you see so many homeless, and you kind of like. It does make me sad. And it's just like, but there's only so much you can do. Anyway, maybe some other time. What is this? This game making me feel real things about the real world? I'm here to escape the real world, goddammit, not think about poverty and shit like that. It's very upsetting.
Remember, Mr. Naruhodo, ignore me at your peril.
Wow, threatening. He looks angry. Back to being a waxwork again. Is it just me, or did his final remark there sound a lot like a curse?
A curse? Something to ask you?
Yeah, like out of nowhere. It's just kind of like 10 or 11-year-old girl being like, I'm so hungry, I need some food. This is London, yeah, high rents.
Well, what is it you'd like to ask me then?
Actually, it's about Lord Van Zeek's,
our friend Mr. Reaper. How did you find him? Well, I trust.
Okay.
And so, I filled Mr. Sholmes in about everything I'd learned. About, Lord Van Zeek's, about Professor Hairbrain, and about the strange coincidence that they had been at university together. All right, exposition over. So I'm wondering what it was that happened to make Lord Van Zeek such a different person.
I was sure that you'd know, Early.
You said there was something going on here in this exhibit hall before. That something was afoot? And that you believed it was related to what I wanted to ask you about.
Baroque law, we will know why he is like this. So now that we find out about Baroque law, I just want to make a PSA. In life, right, if you have experienced something terrible and that turns you into a dickhead, then your dickheadness and your meanness can well be explained by your background, but not necessarily excused, right? So I'm just saying, whatever we find out, he was still kind of racist to us, you know? So I don't know if I will forgive him completely, okay? It's kind of like saying, like, you know, if somebody has been sort of robbed by a person of like an immigrant or a person of a certain race, you know, and maybe that happened multiple times, and then they become racist, like maybe it explains it, doesn't excuse it, you know, because if they meet another person from that race, that person hasn't robbed them. That is literally the definition of racism. It's prejudice. So I'm just saying. But, you know, maybe like So thank you, Baloroth, even as such a lover of Baroque and Baroque's footstool. Clearly, you're a big fan of Baroque. So I appreciate y'all seeing my reasoning of this, okay? Anyway. To be continued. Let's see. Mr. Sholmes. He suddenly clammed up. What's going on, Mr. Sholmes? Well, it seems what have we reached? What did it say? We've reached the unavoidable. Greetings. Who's arrived? Oh. Okay. What's happened? Oh, hello? Where did she appear from? And what's she wearing? Could she look any more mysterious? God, slay, queen.
I hope you are appreciating my museum.
Sorry? Have we, what? Mr. Sholmes, do you know this, what again?
My apology. I am Esmeralda Tusspells. This is my museum of waxwork.
What, you're the Madame Tusspells?
Bien sûr. Ah, though only 2600 years young, I might add.
Is that significant somehow?
I'm a...
Oh, is this where we should actually do a French accent?
I'm a madame in name only. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi.
Right.
Firstly, I must apologize for my waxworks, or rather, one waxwork in particular.
That'll be Mr. Sholmes then.
I was led to believe...
Is she actually French? I'm confused. Is she French? French?
I was led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle.
But then again, also, just because you're French doesn't mean you have a strong French accent, right?
Next time you move from your designated exhibit, there will be toil and trouble.
Uh-oh. You didn't like that. Threatening. I am French, and I do not support French anything either, except for her. I do have a German accent if I want to. Like, I can sometimes turn it up a bit, you know?
Oh, but not all the time, but sometimes a little.
She sounds deadly serious.
Iris has turned up the demon voice voice changer. That's a problem. How am I supposed to ask Mr. Sholmes about Lord Van Zeeks now?
Let's not forget what Hurley said before about something being afoot right here in the museum, I mean.
Yes, I know, but, I'm so curious. I want to know what's happening here.
Haven't we got enough on our plate already? Oh my God, my voices are going all over the place. Okay, what does she have to say? Tell us about the waxworks.
Did you make all these waxworks, Madame Tusspells?
Bien sûr,
I did. I am the third generation of waxwork artisans, you know? Gosh. Oh gosh, golly. It was my grandmother who began tradition in my family. Her fortunes were checkered, living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution as she did. Though that is when she acquired the savoir-faire that leads to the astonishing lifelikeness. All these waxworks really do look as though they're alive. In fact, they look more alive than Hurley. Maybe because I kicked him. He's still in pain. Ooh, a little witch's laugh. What you see exhibited here represents the most atrocious of London's criminal past. All the waxworks were created in the presence of the real people on which they are modeled. In the hours immediately following their executions, that is the secret to the extraordinary lifelikeness. Whoa. Whoa. That sounds, terrifying. All walks of life, have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trade par excellence, one must go to extraordinary lengths. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see. Why couldn't the public have wished for something less horrifying? Although this is a little bit like the... Do you remember the... What were they called? Like body works or something? Where it's like the skin pulled off human flesh and stuff? Körperwelten, I think it was called. I mean, people love to see it, innit? Love to see it. Oh, wait. The video is working. Was there a problem with the video? I think it's fine on my end at the moment. Dear. Do not fear. Sorry? This room is the only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I do hope you'll explore. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians, something for every taste, I hope. It was Iris who dragged me straight in here, come to think of it. Sorry, perhaps I should have eased you into things. Okay, so what is up with the great detective waxwork, eh? Madame Tusspells. What's the situation with that? Ah, my temporary waxwork model? He approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal. Oh, what sort of proposal? My dear madam, what these sparse exhibits need is the addition of a world-famous great detective. Or words to that effect. Ah. Naturally, I am well aware that Mr. Sholmes is widely known in London as a talented detective. It's a great detective, actually. He's very specific about it. Yes, sir, the crème de la crème, so I was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to agree terms. Let me guess, someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services. Aha! For a mere £500, I will dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment. Or words to that effect. Mr. Sholmes might have overdone the sales pitch. Oh, thank you for the follow, Thalassomantic. Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment due to unforeseen circumstances. So, we came to the current arrangement instead. Surely, oh, is that sound quite loud? Hold on, I can turn that down. Let me turn these down. They don't need to be quite that loud. Boom. Surely, he doesn't really need to do what he's doing though, does he? I would think not, but he was very insistent, eh? Thank you for the resub, Yasmosiam. Yasmosium? Yasmosiam. I'd do it for double. What is that? £500 as in £1,000? Yaz. Oh, that is simple. Gotcha, Yaz. I would think not, but he was very insistent. I have a 50 shilling problem that must be resolved by the morning. From £500 down to 50 shillings. Or words to that effect. I don't know if he's very good at... How much is 50 shillings? How many shillings is a pound? I don't really know.
It's the pawnbroker. That's what it is. He must have something to redeem.
Is the consulting detective work not going so well? Something afoot. I wonder, could I ask you something?
Of course, bien sûr. Pas de problème. I'm just curious. Is anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps? Oop. British money is kind of like the British measuring system. How many kilos or even pounds? Hold on. Is it 12 or 14? I think 14 pounds is a stone, isn't it? I think. I think 14 pounds is a stone. 12 inches are a foot. That's US also, isn't it? It's all very confusing. How many feet? 3 feet are a yard. But it must be like 1,800 yards or something are a mile, aren't they? All very confusing. Whoever suggested such a thing to you? Yeah, they do use stone in the UK. It's very strange. It's very strange. Oh well, it was your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned it to me a little. Oh, he disappeared. Yeah, stone. It is weight, but I was just like kind of comparing measurements. How it's like weird. How that's why the decimal system to me it just makes sense. Everything is just tens. So much easier. Metric, not the decimal, the metric system. That's what I mean. Decimal system. I'm so confused. Oh, he's disappeared. A wax model is a work of art, not some tawdry object of trade. Who's saying that? Ah. Oh, there he is. It's him again, of course. There you are. Leaving the exhibit again when you should be working? Alors, what do you wish me to do? You wish to be melted down. Ah! My dear Madam Tusspells, save your reprimands. There are more pressing concerns. The wax can wait. It's our ideas about your current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead. Huh? Merde! Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police. Why ever not? She's turned as white as a sheet. Because you have at your disposal a great detective whose services you may employ for a mere, let me just pluck a number from just thin air, 50 shillings? Nothing to do with my debt. Though please be aware that I prefer, no, I insist upon payment in advance. You know, if I didn't know any better, comes across as a little scammy. Like, if anybody comes up to you with these kind of, pay this in advance or something, just beware. Just beware. Very well. Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we? Before I engage my analytical processes, I must ask you to clarify something. What, pray, is behind the curtain? Because we do see an arm just sticking out of it. That is the Tusspells special exhibit. There is an extra charge to see it. Ah, the special exhibit in the House of Horrors. It must depict a special killer then, I presume. Would you be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder? Ah! Absolument non! There's nothing amiss behind there. Nothing amiss, madam? What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain? I didn't know about that, Laura, so it's not my fault, so I don't think you can be mad at me for that. It's just an arm. What is the problem? You have an arm, I have an arm, I have two arms, so it's no big deal. Come on, relax. I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond before the situation worsens. Oui. Okay, d'accord. Very well.
I will draw back the curtains, but only a soupçon. And then we close it again, okay? Just a quick flash of... Regarde, alors. I must confess, I peeked behind the curtain earlier. The Tusspells special exhibit is a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. And yet, somewhat surprisingly, the waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one, however...
Yeah. I bet he's just napping.
Is the portly gentleman lying peacefully on his back on the floor.
Well, then, perhaps Mr. Sholmes, that man on the floor, is the ruthless killer himself. What? But who's been killed?
I'm afraid not, my dear fella. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman, not even a waxwork, in fact.
What? See, he's just napping. I said so. As skillfully made as these waxworks are, they are always distinguishable from real humans.
So, allow me to present my 2 conclusions.
I'm so glad that this one is finishing because I don't like it. I'm gonna go back to, what was it? Mango and orange. I think that's the best one. This one is only, you know, it's just not as good. Mango is the best one. Mango is the best one.
The first is that a sizable business transaction has been taking place in this special exhibit.
Is it?
Yeah, why would you say that?
He's top secret. Silly boy.
And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime. She looks as pale as candle wax.
I don't understand.
So, Madam Tusspells, as you've agreed to my fee, fork up the money. You shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work.
Are we doing a yes, finally. Oh, I like how in the shadow his outfit changed.
Waxworks Fate. Conclusion. To begin with, we must ask ourselves, what exactly is afoot here in this museum? The dance of deduction. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your bag. Give me money, give me money, give me money. In my estimation, some £200.
That is all my money. All my own money, I mean. I have much more. I'm a very rich person, if you can't tell. I'm only 26 years old, but really successful. Not trying to rub it in your face. Don't worry. It's just a very normal thing for me. Huh? 200 pounds, nothing. Easy peasy, pish, posh, poof. Well, I feel kind of insulted by myself.
So, what does this large sum of money reveal? Huh? Not as much as the involuntary glance you cast, it would seem, Madame Tusspells. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. Where do they fall indeed? The significance of the £200 is revealed by that public notice. Waxwork for sale? Your business has hit hard times, it would seem. In short, you sold the infamous killer. The centerpiece of your special exhibit, for the sum of £200.
Oh no!
C'est pas vrai? Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Portly gentleman. Who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock and just wanted to lie down on the floor and have a nap. But he wanted his arm to stick out of the curtain. Oh, there's an exclamation mark there. The cause of which is clearly known to you. Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the 200 pounds. It would appear that you twisted this gentleman around your little finger most effectively. What are you suggesting? He rashly agreed to purchase the waxwork for the sum of 200 pounds. Only when he came to hand the money over did it occur to him what an extortionate amount he was paying. But the money was no longer in his hands. And the result? The scene we see before us. He collapsed in shock. Wait, is he saying that he was robbed? What? He rashly agreed to purchase the wax up the sum of 200 pounds. Only when he came to hand the money, did it occur to him? Oh. Wait, so she just convinced him to pay the money and then he passed out? This all seems rather strange, doesn't it? Yes, the killer in this special exhibit fetched a killer price, and that killed him? We can only pray that the gentleman's dreams are not plagued with regret.
Oh, wow. Okay. His outfit just changed very suddenly. Why? Why can't you just keep the outfit we put on you? This is really like kind of confusing to my eyes. It just changes it. It's like we're changing history.
The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider that problem for a moment. You cannot possibly. What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fella? To find the answer, we need only observe his neckerchief, such as is worn by policemen as a secret sign. Thank you for the follow, Josesu. Secret sign to fellow members of the force that a crime is being perpetrated. Yes, this young man is an undercover policeman currently investigating this museum. I know him well, in fact. It's Sergeant John Clay.
What are you talking about?
The man's quite a celebrity. He received triple accolades at last year's policing awards. But, meh. Next, we turn our attention.
Oh, what do you... The other sound is still loud? How do I turn it down? Okay, I'll turn it down further a little bit. I think it's also like I have like two different thingings now. Maybe I should deactivate one of them. I'll have to do that later.
Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with the particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely, and he hasn't moved a muscle, almost, in fact, as if he were a waxwork. But you... Your reaction only confirms my suspicions, madam. I noticed it at once, of course. Observe!
3p? He only costs 3p?
The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious price tag. Threepence, a tragically low price, you might say. Though perhaps the going rate for aging waxworks riddled with cracks.
I think that is not a waxwork. I think that is just an old man. and Sholmes is being very rude. And I think the price tag is probably from the scarf, and he hasn't taken off the scarf. That is my prediction. And yet you sold it to the portly gentleman for an exorbitant £200. That's incorrect. That's all incorrect. You're incorrect. The sort of plucky behavior that's sure to attract the attention of Scotland Yard. Isn't that so, madam?
I do not, alors,
This man is very strange. He says all kinds of weird things. Not true at all. I have something I'm hiding, but not what this man thinks. He's a bit stupid, I think. Maybe a bit slow in the brain. Yeah? Possible?
Yes, the wax work you sold has already been seized by the police and remains in their custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit, and not a moment too soon.
He has the same scarf as Pat and Rowley. I noticed this similarity. I think maybe that is like, maybe that's Pat's, no, Rowley's, Rowley was the guy, right? Maybe that's Rowley's dad or something, or granddad.
Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Kitchen's here, nobody panic!
Thank fuck. You're here to help us with the deduction extraordinaire. Iris. Okay, she's ready to boil us. I think she's ready to boil you, Kitchen, because you are, you're gonna be exhibited in the... They want a kitchen in here.
I see, I've stunned you all into silence.
Oh, thank you for the resub, Peachy PG. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's okay. I can stand in the corner for that. And think about what I've done.
You have, Early. You have. And you've obviously upset this young lady in the process. Her golden looks awfully hot.
Why are her hands not hurting? It looks hot. She must have very strong hands. If I could just, bring up one point. Mr. Sholmes, I know you're very proud of what you've done, and I know you always say it with such a, confidence that behooves a white man of privilege. But, I think there are some flaws in your deductions. No offense to my fellow white men out there. Y'all are excellent, and I love you all.
The notorious Naruhodo, 1 point. I'm all ears, my dear fellow.
According to your deduction, then, the special exhibit featured this old policeman. So that would mean that he's the particularly ruthless murderer, wouldn't it?
The killer policeman. Otomo? Sorry? It was a mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital only last year. The police rushed to the scene every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the ether.
And it turned out the culprit was a policeman himself, a senior officer by the name of Otomo.
So, you mean that's who the sinister-looking old man there is supposed to be?
Indeed. It is a particularly grim face, is it not?
I think like him being so insulting about the old man means that he's definitely not a wax work. I feel like that is the kind of humor that we're going for. I'm sensing it. Also, my other deduction is there is no rope around the old man on the chair, which means he's not part of the exhibit. So it doesn't really make sense, does it? Unforgettable, yes. I remember that odious countenance only too well. But it's £200 a lot of money for a wax model. It would be enough to afford one of the latest steam carriages if that puts things in perspective. £200! I want a steam carriage. I can afford £200. Can I just travel back in time and get a steam carriage, please? So it is quite a lot then. And he was asking for £500. He wants 2 steam carriages. Is there anything else you wish to add? Maybe, something else that's crazy before I melt you down? You silly boy. La causality. You have to leave. See you all in the VOD. Yeah. If you're watching the VOD, leave a comment below and say hi. Say like, hi, I'm watching on YouTube and I'm alive. Hello. I'm watching you. Live and in the future. Also confusing, isn't it? That bubbling wax is looking more and more ominous.
The smell of all that molten wax is starting to worry me.
Mr. Sholmes did more or less just accuse her to her face, so I think I might have to call on your assistance here, Iris, if that's all right. To make some minor corrections to the great detective's great deductions.
Of course it's all right. We'll soon set things straight. 'Cause that's how we like it.
Well, let's get started then, shall we? Before Madame Tusspells vents her anger. Or wouldn't it be better to say before Madame Tusspells' anger boils over or something like that? Just seems so obvious. Just what I was waiting to hear, my dear fellow. So, Madame Tusspells, in accordance with our agreement, you shall now have the pleasure. Why does he constantly flex his arm? I'm sorry, but he doesn't have that much biceps, doesn't he? Unlike me. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. That's so embarrassing. Mark, don't be cringe, okay? Chill. You shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. Do you believe in miracles? Dun-dun-dun. You sexy thing. Oh, Abijah Place, what's going on? How you doing? Hope you're well. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your bag. In my estimation, some £200. That is all my own money. Is nothing strange afoot here. It's very normal. Yeah, £200. So, what does this large sum of money reveal? Her outfit is nice. I want that outfit. Ah, not as much as the involuntary glance you cast, it would seem, Madame Tusspells. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the £200 is revealed, blah blah blah. She definitely looked in this direction. It's true. But I'm not sure she'd sell any of her waxworks, even for £200. Oh, did I? Oh, that was meant to be her, isn't it?
She must pour her heart and soul into making them, don't you think? Over and above the wax. If it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything.
For that much money? I would. But it sounds like that makes me a bad person. Oh, yo, Nifty! Thank you so much for the resub. Or the sub. Yes, 6 months in a row. 6 months in a row! Y'all are amazing. Today is a stream full of subs. I really appreciate that. It's very sweet. Y'all are very kind to support me like that. I wonder if the 200 and... But also, if you are not subbing, that's also fine. I appreciate you just watching and lurking. And, you know, my super mods and all of you. All of you are very appreciated. Overdosing on guinea pigs. And thank you so much for the sub. Thank you. That is very sweet. Y'all are so sweet. Twitch isn't very kind to Canadians. Oh. Why is Twitch not kind to Canadians? What does it do to you? I love Canadians, so I want to be kind to Canadians. What a name. Did you want to... Wait, what? Which one? Oh, overdosing on guinea pigs. That is pretty good. Oh, is it expensive? Oh, jeez. Yeah, no. Just do whatever is right for you. If it's just watching, then I'm completely fine with that. I want a guinea pig. Can you give me a guinea pig? What pet should I want a pet? I need to live in a place where I can get a pet. One little pet. Somebody I know has a pet rabbit actually in their house and kind of has it a bit like a cat, just like chilling out and running around. It's very sweet. It's very nice. I want one. I only have Kazamandu here. I've got the Tums. Anyway, I wonder if the 200 pounds could have some other significance.
Let's follow that furtive glance again and see if there's anything else that could explain it.
Oh, you had a rabbit as well. Oh, was. Oh, I'm sorry. Did it pass? I'm sorry to hear that. The significance of 200 pounds is revealed by that public... No, portly... Let's have a look at what does it actually say here. Waxwork for sale. Would anyone be buying models of mass murderers?
I think I'd rather have 200 pounds in my pocket.
Exactly. You could buy one of those brand new types of steam carriage. That's what I'd spend on if I had it, no question. What do you want in a steam carriage?
Oh, I'd buy all the herbs in the world.
There must be another explanation for the money. We need to keep looking. Okay, what do we... Well, maybe she's looking at the portly man, isn't she? It seems this well-dressed gentleman is alive after all, not alive and kicking. And he's not a waxwork or a model of a mass murderer.
I'm not sure I'd pay 200 pounds for him.
I don't think the man's up for sale.
Well, anyway, it was a silly place to put him. Other museum visitors could easily trip.
I don't think the man was put there on purpose either. Okay. What do we have here?
What's that note doing pinned on the wall there?
I see it says 200 pounds though. Oh yes, let's see. Dear Madam Tusspells, we've taken the prisoner from this room. The price for his safe return. It literally looks like there's like 3 words on there. Right? Like, he's reading quite a lot. They're taking a lot of artistic liberty, aren't they? Oh, LC, it's okay. He was 14. Oh, that is a long life boiled rabbit, I'm sure. I want a 14-year rabbit. The price for his... Oh, thanks for the follow, Sergeant Rats. Sergeant Rat's ass? Oh, Rat's ass? Rat's ass? Oh, is it... How loud is it now? Is it now at a better volume? Or is still... Hold on. I saw it. Can still be slightly slower. Let's put it over here. There we go. That's better. The price for this everything is £200. Have the money ready by noon on 23rd October.
What?
This is... It's just like the sort of thing that's left behind when someone is kidnapped.
Yes. It's a ransom note.
Exactly. All right, well, that is obviously...
Take that!
It. Take that sounded really good, right? Take that. Ooh, look at that outfit. That is sexy. The significance of the £200 is revealed by that ransom note. Bidet, sir, wanted to come follow and support the fellow VA. Oh, thank you, Sergeant Ratzaz. A fellow VA. Bidet? Bidet, what do you mean? Like, were you in the toilet? Or is that a typo? I don't really get it. Quite so, and we must congratulate these criminals on their inventiveness, abducting a waxwork. But, Sergeant Ratzaz, thank you, and for the support, and also a fellow VA. What? I'll have to look you up later and what you voiced, or you can tell us what you voice. Do you voice video games as well? Do we have a famous person in the chat? Quite so, and we must congratulate these criminals on their inventiveness, abducting a waxwork. £200 is no small ransom fee, yet you clearly intend to pay it.
The model in question has special importance, eh? So I put together all the money I have.
In summary, then, the £200 you have in your handbag is ransom money. It's a reference to a character who says bidet instead of good day from Critical Role. Oh, okay, I didn't know that reference. Just a few Warhammer voices. Oh, I've done a Warhammer animated series. What was it called? Shit, I don't want to say the wrong name. What was it called again? Return to Cadia. That's what it was called. Return to Cadia. Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. But that sounds exciting, Sergeant. Is it Rat's or Rat's ass? I can't really tell. Who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Je ne sais pas. Je ne sais pas. Wait, how do I say nothing in French? Je ne sais pas. Rien. That's what it was, right? Je ne sais pas rien. I think, is that correct? Is that correct? Je ne sais pas rien. Unfortunately, madam, rien. Ah, je ne sais rien. See, I remembered. Unfortunately, madam, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. Oh, so many French speakers in this. Y'all are amazing. I love that. I have to improve my French one day. So if the waxwork was kidnapped, where does that leave us in terms of who this man is?
We could just ask him when he comes around.
I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process, Iris. Is you being very generous here, right?
Yes, you're right. Early's trying so hard. We mustn't let him down.
Well, there's little doubt that he suffered a shock. That much seems clear. But in that case, what's Madame Tusspells trying to hide? Let's have a closer look around. We're just having a look around, Mr. Why is her hand sticking out the back like that? Is that a fake hand? This is just Madam. That is not. That is a left hand, isn't it? That is not her right hand. That's a left hand. That's not the right hand, that's the left hand. Yes, it must be. I can clearly see her left hand after all.
Oh, but wait a minute. This is a left hand as well. Look.
I've got a good brain. My brain is so good, it will never be wrong. Except for once or twice.
Weep, beep, 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 beep. Oh, look at all the French speakers. I guess Greatest Attorney must be big in France, eh? Maybe I have to go to France to a con. Maybe I'll tell my agent people. Like, yo, find a con in France for me. I want to go to France for a con. I want somebody to pay for a hotel for me in France. Maybe like south of France, near the beach or something. Don't say such creepy things, Iris, please.
And it seems very stiff, too. In fact, it's really hard.
You mean, I don't want to scam the French. What are you talking about? I just mean that, like, if there's a con in France who wants me to, come there, then and pay me for it or pay for the hotel and stuff, then that'd be very nice. I'm not conning anyone. I'm being. Oh, now I get it. I'm sorry. It's been a long week. My brain is not quite where it should be. They do have Japan Expo. A German. I would love to go to Germany. Gamescom once tweeted, "Oh, who should we follow?" or something like that, and I replied, "It's like, yo, maybe me, cause I'm from Cologne and also I'm a voice actor and like Wukong and shit." They didn't even acknowledge me. I was like, yeah, whatever, Gamescom. I don't need you. You don't need me. I don't need you. Anyway, it's made of wax. Maybe one day I'll be famous enough for that. It's okay. I don't take it personally. Wait, so we have found the fake hand. Wait, what, in fact, is it? So, has Iris just went around and touched the fake hand? All very confusing. Oh, we got another follow. Thank you, Soup Milkshake. Appreciate the follow. Wait, so is that where... I'm trying to figure out why he fell over, right? So is this the thing that made him fall over? Wait. What dealt him in such a shocking blow was, of course... So, so maybe she's hit him with the hand? Long hair. Okay, let's look at the hair also. Madame Tusspells has very long hair, doesn't she?
Yes, but you couldn't tell looking at her from the front.
You know, it looks rather like a whip, don't you think? The sort of whip that could have floored the gentleman with a single crack.
That seems a little far-fetched even for you, Ryuno.
Okay, so it's definitely the hand then. So she just hit him with the hand. That's what happened.
Take that!
Tusspells. Oh, thank you for the chat also, Soup Milkshake. You like Tusspells, yes? Tusspells, alors, eh? Tusspells. Tusspells. Is there like a pun in there as well or something? Her name? Doesn't he look good with his outfit? I like it. I like it. I like it very much. What dealt the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the waxwork hand. Indeed, with a solid waxwork limb, one could deliver a very substantial blow. How could you? It's impossible. How could you see behind me? I didn't let you touch anything. The hand protruding from the bottom of your cape. It ought to be a right hand, but closer inspection reveals that, in fact, it's a left hand. Pourquoi? And somewhat masculine as well. In other words, it does not belong to you, madam. It is the hand of a waxwork model. All right. Some of these visitors to my museum can be troublesome. They meddle with the exhibits and cause damage. So you mean that arm? Oui. These gentlemen saw fit to try to remove it as a souvenir. No small keepsake.
So he's a thief. So why are you hiding? You can just say that he's a thief. Like taking a whole branch of a cherry tree when you go to view the blossoms. I'm afraid I had to teach the man a lesson. You confronted the man and tried to take the arm back. And the result? The scene we see before us. He was knocked... Oh, what did it say? He was knocked unconscious. That makes sense. A point we may need to revisit later. But for the time being, we have our conclusions. Oh, it's Bacon Mutt. How you doing? How you doing? Yes, the killer in this special exhibit has been kidnapped. What? Oh, as in the rest of the person whose arm we're missing. Whose arm we have, but we don't have the rest. The question that arises then is, what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Chris Pratt play Monopoly. Yeah, crazy ads, isn't it? Speaking of ads, I think I mentioned this before, but there's this, what is it called again? Kingdom... Something Kingdom or something. Royal Kingdom and stuff. Which has like all these famous people doing ads for it. And I think I mentioned this before. And then, like, the company, Royal Kingdom or Royal Match or something, they make like $3 billion. I don't know if in a year or in its lifetime, but you're like, how does this kind of game make so much money? That's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me. Marisienne, you've got to go. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day as well. Marisienne, is Marisienne Parisienne? Microtransactions, I know. It's crazy. Crazy. Let us consider that problem for a moment. No, you cannot possibly... What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fella? To find the answer, we need only observe his neckerchief. If he's really a police officer and he's just listening to all of us talking for all this time, and he's just a police officer, oh, maybe if I stand really still, they will keep talking about me and not realize that I'm a real human. And that would be funny. So I don't think it's true. I think he's a waxwork. I think the old man is an actual security guard, and he's just asleep because he's old. That is my deduction. The yellow neckerchief is assigned to other policemen that some crime is underway.
A way of communicating with his colleagues without revealing his identity, yes. It's a secret that's closely guarded by Scotland Yard.
That Mr. Sholmes didn't hesitate to give away.
Well, uncovering secrets is in any true detective's nature, of course.
Right. Iris just changing her voice again. Right. Anyway, judging from Madame Tusspells' reaction to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, I think perhaps we might not have identified the man quite correctly. Who is this fella? Okay, so... Yeah, see? He's definitely a statue. This is actually the person whose arm she took and hit the other person with. A secret scarf to sign... She is a voice... Who is a voice actor? Cold Soup. Oh, yeah. A secret scarf sign to warn other...
I know, sounds so thrilling, doesn't it? Maybe I'll try to work it into next month's installment.
But then the police's secret will be revealed to all of London's 6 million inhabitants.
Well, they'll just have to come up with a new sign, I suppose.
How does this 10-year-old manage to have such a terrifying influence? Bum 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 bum. Shoulder stub. Yep, this is definitely a wax voice. Oh, Iris. No, it's good. It's good. I get it. She is a voice actor, indeed. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe Iris is just a voice actor. What the... The man has a stub sticking out of his shoulder where his arm should be.
Ah, well, that settles that then.
Right, this isn't a real person at all.
His entire arm's been ripped off from the shoulder down.
His arm's been... Of course, that ties in with what we just found out.
Take that!
Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his shoulder stub. No such boneless human walks this earth. Of course, of that I can assure you, because I'm very smart. In other words, the man standing here, the young Sergeant John Clay, is in fact, defying all odds, a waxwork model. I seem to remember it was you who concluded he was a real person in the first place, Mr. Sholmes. He has become quite a celebrity in London, being the winner of no less than 3 policing awards last year. I simply had to make a model of the man. Naturally, what other explanation could there be? And it was this detective's arm that was pulled off by the man on the floor in the special exhibit, wasn't it? Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with the particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely, and he hasn't moved a muscle, almost in fact as if he were a waxwork. But he's not. But you, mais non. Your reaction only confirms my suspicions, madam. I noticed it at once, of course. Observe. Telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious price tag. A killer policeman called Ota, was it? Was he well known?
It was all over the papers last year, but I can't say I know what he looks like. It's a very low price, though. Threepence isn't much money.
Only enough for a few measly hours of gas in Mr. Garridep's delightful lodgings, in fact. So this is the special killer, taken from the special exhibit, is it? The waxwork that somebody stole from the museum and tried to ransom for £200? Is this crusty old killer policeman Ottomole really?
Perhaps we should have a good look around again and see if another idea crops up.
Look, he's got a... Oh, he's moving his leg, too. I don't believe it. It's the secret sign that lets other detectives know some criminal activity is underway. Yes, it's a slightly strange choice of outfit if he was trying to go unnoticed.
Oh, he must be a detective disguised as a policeman.
Or a detective disguised as a waxwork model of a policeman.
He doesn't look like he's clever enough to think of something like that, though.
Perhaps you should try to be a little more polite about him, Iris. And there he's moving his leg, and that means he's alive and he's not a wax model. Look at this. The old man's tapping his foot like crazy. He seems to be fast asleep, though. He's not tapping his foot consciously then, so you mean it must be a twitch? Never mind that. The point is waxworks don't tap their feet.
Or twitch.
And look at his arm, too. We've seen a scarf like that somewhere else around here, haven't we? Yeah, so what, do I present the... Tell the instant proves whether or not this old man is waxwork is the obvious... No, it's not. It's the tapping foot. Billy. Oh, Twitch mentioned it. Hey, it didn't even click for a moment. Didn't even click. The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious Twitch. Welcome everyone to my Twitch. Twitch. What's up, Twitch? How you doing? Even the most realistic waxworks do not exhibit a twitch. Very well deduced, Sholmes. In other words, this splendid old man is in fact a genuine member of Scotland Yard.
slight shift of your choice of adjectives, then. And there you have it. Well, Madame Tusspells. I'm so smart, aren't I?
What? It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come in the first place. He is clearly fatigued. He is sound asleep. But then, what's this tag about showing a price of 3 pence? It's clearly his scarf.
No doubt the price tag of the muffler, which the old Bobby purchased recently at a local market. And I presume you've observed the scarf tied around his arm. Does that not strike you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, the secret sign used by detectives to show that some criminal activity is currently underway.
Of course, because, as you know, there has been such a criminal activity happening here. As you deduced from the very beginning, detective.
Barely.
So, it would seem that we finally arrived at the truth. The waxwork of the especially ruthless killer from this special exhibit has been kidnapped. And Scotland Yard are already investigating. But the model's whereabouts remain a mystery. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. And I quickly changed my outfit. Like Superman, man. Solved.
Solved it. Easy peasy. Wasn't even a problem. In fact, you could say it was elementary. All sorts of people visit my museum here. Men and women, young and old. Sometimes they drop in just for a short time on their way back from the pub. I welcome them all. But if anyone tries to damage my exhibits, I do not take it lightly. Anyway. Ooh, I now disappear? No? I am just cutscene for you? Your great deduction was even more enchanting than I had been led to believe.
It was a pleasure, my dear madam. I'm gratified that you enjoyed this spectacle. And as for your rough customer, I've no doubt he'll regain consciousness shortly and return home. What concerns me more is the waxwork from the special display. If it was indeed genuinely abducted.
I have no idea how we got to this now. I don't even know what the connection to this is of the actual murder what does it have to do with Hairbrain anymore? I kind of completely forgot. We've gone completely off track. Talking to like some mysterious waxwork magician.
Yes, tragically, it was
Tusspells murdered Odie Assman with waxwork arm. I'm not sure about that. It'll all work itself out, I'm sure.
Then I would ask you to recount to us the events surrounding the stolen waxwork.
I'm sure it will all connect eventually.
In as much detail as possible, if you please.
Very well. But after I've told you what I know, I must insist that you return to your work and leave me alone. I have much work to do, okay?
Yeah, look at my arm. Look at my arm, not around my arm, you're under. The talents of a great detective could be put to better use, I feel, but as you wish.
Okay, more conversing.
The stolen waxwork.
Tell us more about the stolen waxwork, please. It was some days ago now, when I came here in one morning. I immediately noticed that the waxwork was missing from the special exhibit here.
It is your most prominent display. So, that's why the curtains were closed.
And I found the ransom note in its place. The culprit must have broken in during the night and taken it then.
So this waxwork that was stolen, it was a model of some horrible criminal, I suppose.
Of a particularly horrible criminal, in fact. The killer who left a more profound scar on society than any other, I would say. The Professor. Not a name I've heard of. Huh. Very mysterious indeed. So, Mr. Naruhodo, it seems the circle is complete. Wait, is that meant to be hairbrain? Sorry?
The Professor case happened at around the time I was born, didn't it?
Oh no, it's a different professor. Indeed it did, Iris. 10 years ago, a series of murders that rocked the capital.
Okay, so this is going to be connected to Baroque then now, isn't it?
10 years ago. Yes, at exactly the time where Mark realized he has to go to the toilet. So, before we get into the past, that is what's gonna happen. And it's very exciting because we're gonna see what happens next. Dun dun dun! I'll see you all back in just a couple of minutes. Boom boom boom. And here we are, back again to Mark Takeshi Ota stream that never has any tech issues. Boom boom boom. So now we're gonna go back in time.
Back? Oh gosh, why am I out of breath just walking up the stairs?
I'm getting old. Need to do more cardio. That Baroque Van Zeeks graduated from university, in fact. What? Surely he's not saying... What?
So the big event that changed Mr. Reaper's life.
Nope. As you've surmised, it was the Professor case. Who was this professor then? The Professor.
Oh gosh, sound was really weird there for a moment. Was it just me?
It was a series of gruesome murders that had all of London gripped in terror a decade ago.
So she was 16 then. So was she already in London? I don't know. Clearly, she must have been.
After 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested and put to death. And now he's immortalized here in wax for all Londoners to admire and enjoy. Though, of course, he happens to be absent and present on account of the abduction. But I don't understand. How is all this related to Lord Van Zeeks? You must first understand, my dear fella, why it is that the Professor earned such infamy. It was due to the victims he chose. Some of Whitehall's finest. Scary.
Oh, what do you mean, Early?
Those murdered by the Professor were some of the highest members of the British aristocracy. Members of the nobility, even royalty. It sent shockwaves through the country's administration. Scary shit. Members of the... Oh, wait. Of course. What Professor Hairbrain said. Lord Van Zeeks is from a family with noble blood.
Oh, gosh.
It was the 5th victim that led to the Professor's arrest. The last of the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of Clint Van Zeeks.
No. I don't believe it. Van Zieks?
I'm sure you can piece together the rest for yourself. In the wake of his older brother's murder, the young Baroque pursued a career as a prosecutor and eventually became the Reaper we know today.
Right, so his brother was murdered. That is obviously horrible. So if you're telling me now that he's been racist all along because his brother was murdered by a Japanese person, and that the murderer is the professor was Japanese, and that's why he hates Japanese people. Again, that doesn't make it right. That is still racism. Anyway, we'll find out. We'll find out. I had no idea Lord Van Zieks had such a tragic past, but obviously horrible, and I feel bad for Van Zieks.
Well, I'm afraid that's all I can say on the matter, for the time being at least. After all, I have work to do.
Not to make it too real, but for example, Kelsey Grammer, I think, also has an absolutely horrible history of like family members being murdered and stuff. Absolutely horrible. And I think he is now a Trump supporter, if I'm not mistaken. But also he's kind of like very careful with voicing his political opinions. And I'm like, you know, not saying the two things are related, but I can disagree with him on those things. But he had like literally multiple people in his family murdered, which is horrible, which is absolutely horrible. And I did really like Frasier, but yeah. Anyway, people that suffered can still turn out to be horrible people, and you know, it's anyway. Let's continue. As a waxwork exhibit.
I'm afraid I shall have to excuse myself as well. Oh, yes, of course. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Right. So we don't get to find out everything. We just found out some things.
Well, none of the predicted scenarios I've been analyzing involved you coming to visit me here.
Who's saying that?
Oh.
It's been too long. It really has. I'm delighted to see you, Baroque. It's been so long. Yes.
It's been 10 years. And here we are, meeting in a prison of all places.
I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Asman. I just can't. I still can't believe it could happen.
Tomorrow, the court will decide.
Yes. I have a young Eastern man acting for my defense. He seems reliable enough, though. It was an accident, a terrible accident. He assures me he can prove it.
I must warn you.
Oh, I know. I've heard already. You're going to be prosecuting, aren't you?
Yes.
Since I returned to England, I've heard lots of stories. Baroque, are you really?
What?
Never mind. I know that you have my best interests at heart, yes. Totally. I'm very much believing that.
My friend is on trial. I wouldn't entrust it to anybody else.
Of course. I fully understand. Thank you, Baroque. Until
tomorrow, then. I'll see you in court.
People love a tortured soul, don't you? A tortured, pretty soul. And that's what Baroque is, isn't it? Real tension indeed. Save? We don't need to save. We play the thing all the way through without saving, right?
Save complete. Whoa. Whoa. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? So exciting. Very exciting indeed. All right. Let me just close this up here.
October, 8:52 a.m. The Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. I can't believe it's been 6 months since I was last allowed to work in court. And now here I am, back at the Old Bailey. Mr. Naruhodo. Good morning, Professor Hairbrain. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. The atmospheric pressure in here is off the charts. I've never felt anything like this. It's crushing me. I feel it every time I'm here, that gravity. Well, this is Britain's highest court. Are you telling me it's fitted with some kind of device that can actually control air pressure? That's crazy.
I think it's... Oh, shit. I was gonna... Oh, I didn't really read it. I just pressed it away. I think it's probably all in the mind.
Yes, well, you won't let me down, will you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? I'm counting on you in today's trial to save my life. To save the secret of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine from being made public.
Yes, I understand. I know what I have to do. I have to establish that the explosion 2 days ago was nothing more than an unfortunate accident.
Well, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about, really. Justice will prevail.
My Is that Van Zieks?
My commiserations, Mr. Naruhodo. You appear to have been lumbered with a most tiresome case here.
No, it's not. It's Sholmes. Damn it. Got it wrong. Mr. Sholmes, I didn't expect to see you here.
That was very mean, Bruno, leaving me alone at home with Early. Took me at least an hour to wake him.
Is it? Are you? Herlock Sholmes? Indeed, sir. I am he. Herlock Sholmes. I've heard all about your exploits, even whilst living in Germany.
Ah, yes. Ransom magazine is on sale in Germany, too.
This month's installment was sublime. Your deduction in the Adventure of Silver Blaze was wonderful. Wunderbar. Yes, a memorable case indeed. It concerned a snake, I seem to recall.
No, that was a speckled band.
Well, thank you for coming. I do appreciate your support. I'm sorry to disappoint you, my dear fella, but I'm afraid I can't stay. Oh. I have urgent business at Madame Tusspells. You mean your waxwork job? No. The waxwork abduction, of course. Madame has engaged my services.
So you're trying to get to the bottom of your purse and get more money in there. I mean that ransom note, are you?
The week's wages depend on it, see? See, I foresaw it. As does the safe return of the waxwork, naturally. As such, I intend to give it my undivided attention.
Oh, well, never mind then. I understand.
Of course, with my skills of observation and reasoning, resolving the matter will be as easy as proverbial pie. I shall return forthwith.
People don't say forthwith anymore, do they? How sad. Maybe I should introduce it into my life. When I go to the toilets next, I will be...
Don't worry, everyone. I shall return forthwith. Not to worry. Everything will be fine. For until I solve the case, I shall have no money to afford a pie of any description. Ooh, I want some pie.
Oh, you must absolutely give it your full attention early.
Quite, Iris, quite. But life is riddled with irony, you know? Whenever I give something my full attention, I have a quite insatiable desire for a pie. One of the universe's intractable mysteries, you might say. Oh, yes, quite. Definitely. Absolutely. I totally understand. Is someone a little starstruck?
Everybody gets starstruck by Sholmes.
I wish you the very best of luck, Professor Hairbrain. Why, thank you. Before I depart, Mr. Naruhodo, a word in your ear, if you please.
What's this about? Ooh, things are getting silent.
As you have remarkably little grounding in science, I feel I ought to inform you that Hairbrain's ideas are bullshit. What? No, I didn't say that. As compelling as this super high voltage instantaneous kinesis hypothesis may be, a practical implementation such as was attempted by the professor at the Great Exhibition is quite impossible. I thought as much, didn't I?
I'm a predictor of everything.
But the professor said the demonstration was a success. Yes. It would appear that he fervently believes it was.
I've read the Professor Bunny Brains.
Damn, man. She read him. She literally did.
I've read Professor Bunny Brains' paper about it too, Bruno, and I have to say, I'm sure it can't be done. It could barely be done theoretically, let alone practically.
So he's completely barking up the wrong tree. But how could an experiment that had no possibility of succeeding in fact succeed? That's contradictory.
And it's that contradiction that will be at the heart of the trial, I've no doubt.
What's that supposed to mean? Isn't it great when your consultants speak in riddles?
Now, I must hurry along. I wish you the best of luck, my dear fella.
See you later, Hurley.
Yeah, great. Now what do we do? Imagine a 10-year-old calling your experiment dog shit. Yeah. The 10-year-old is like, yeah, I know you've worked on this for the last 20 years, but it's basically all rubbish. You know what? Fun fact, though, that is a thing. Look, I'm not an academic, but I have studied, academically. And that is a problem in science. Not to overstate the problem, but sometimes you have confirmation bias, right? If you've researched something for a very long time as an academic, then you kind of, especially if you had sort of a hypothesis that you're trying to prove, then you spend a lot of time trying to prove it. And even if the evidence is pointing in another direction. So good science means that you're not continue trying to prove some kind of previous hypothesis, but you're trying to be a bit more, I guess, neutral about it. But that does happen, which is why sometimes I think they say progress in science happens with the death of old scientists or something like that, because then old ideas die out and you can have new ideas. But anyway, I still am very pro-science, just to be very clear. Yeah, science is great. We need science.
Well, it looks like you're on your own today, Reno. But chin up, you can do it.
Oh, what about you, Iris?
No. I'm afraid I can't help. I have something I need to do.
I see. Okay.
It's gonna be a big surprise for you when you find out what it is.
That sounds ominous.
Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court is about to be in session. Make your way into the courtroom at once.
We're on our way. An experiment that the laws of science say can't possibly succeed. and a scientist who's convinced that it did. That's the riddle you have to unlock here, Ryunosuke. That's the key to this case. All right. Let's go. Let's do it. 23rd October, 9:10 a.m. The Old Bailey Courtroom.
Let's go.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are sitting today for the public trial of Professor Albert Hairbrain. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is a vampire and is ready. The defense is ready, my lord. I'm 6 months out of practice. And what's more, I'm wearing a pilot's uniform for some reason. But it's fine. I'm without Susato-san today. Oh no. And Iris is not here either. What am I gonna do? I'm all on my own. Is it just my imagination, or does the air in here feel even more oppressive than usual?
So, I must say, I recollect the victim of this case all too well, Mr. O.D. Assman.
Mr. Assman was well known as a financier?
Though that was merely a front for his diverse criminal activities. It was only a month ago that the man appeared in court prosecuted by you, Lord Van Zeeks. But the jury unanimously found him not guilty.
Because every member of the jury had been bribed by the sound of it. These powerful London criminals are prepared to go to extreme lengths to keep their freedom.
But 2 days ago, on 21st October, Mr. Assman met his end. The work of the Reaper, wasn't it?
If that is how your lordship would describe divine retribution,
But the fact remains that Mr. Assman's death was a direct result of the actions of the accused, Professor Hairbrain.
Very well, then. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people. Are the 6 judges, are the 6 of you ready to fulfill your societal duty?
Oh, this is a new jury member.
I am most gratified.
No. What voice would he have? Maybe he's like Ian McKellen?
You shall not pass. I am most gratified.
No, that's not what he sounds like. Doesn't matter that much.
I am most gratified to have been selected to carry out this important civic duty, my lord.
She's pretty. Is she nice?
To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, golly. It sends shivers down.
Oh, she's into it. Oh, and magician.
Science experiments, magic, conjuring tricks, courtroom trials, arrow.
Ooh, Stream Sam, thank you for the resub. For some reason, I made it so quiet. Now I can't hear the ding at all anymore. I do want to hear the ding. Why don't I hear the ding? I need to hear the ding.
Courtroom trials, all are nothing more than performances.
Yeah. Any spurious scholar that defiles the reputation of science deserves to hang.
We have to listen what's said on both sides of the fence and settle on. That's it, isn't it?
Wasn't like this matter. Wasn't like this at all. Yeah, but whose birthday is it? This is Stream Sam's birthday?
Oh, happy birthday, Stream Sounds. We're so happy for you. It's Elmo says hello. We're so happy. We're so happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stream Sounds. Happy birthday to you.
Oh wait, we're doing Arnold accent.
Yeah, yeah. Who's getting Arnold? who's getting Arnolded?
Is it gonna be Barack? Hey Baloroth, who's getting Arnolded? that's the police killer Ottermole lookalike. And he's as exhausted as ever, it seems. You have to choose somebody, Baloroth. Who's getting Arnolded?
It's the Elmo. It's the Elmo.
Wait, but who redeemed it? Baloroth redeemed it. So Baloroth needs to choose. I feel like juror number 6 is not gonna be. Has the judge been Arnold? Oh, judge can be Arnold. No, the judge is gonna be Arnold. I like Arnold. I like the judge Arnolding. I like that.
Oh, now, as I'm sure you're all aware, the incident we are here to judge today tragically took place at the Great Exhibition shortly after I did my workout and it opened. Yeah.
Though the death toll could have been far worse. With the exception of the victim, no one else was killed. Nevertheless, the dream of the science being exhibited rapidly turned into a nightmare for the spectator.
Yes, tragic turn of events, and as such, the eyes of all of London, no, the whole world will be on this trial. It is our duty to reach a swift and just conclusion, I feel. Silence! So, yeah, your opening statement, please, Lord Van Zieks.
The heart of this incident is technology never before demonstrated anywhere in the world.
Yeah, one of science's latest developments, I take it. The government is keen to capitalize on the Great Exhibition to improve Britain's technological advantage.
The technology being demonstrated by the accused was described as super high voltage instantaneous kinesis.
Good lord.
It's designed to disassemble human subjects using extremely high voltage electricity and beam them, Scotty, instantly to another location where they are subsequently reassembled.
Is such a thing even within the realms of possibility?
Well, I don't believe it, that's for sure.
Disassembling people with electricity, my goodness, how shocking.
Yeah, the whole idea is absurd. The hypothesis would never stand up to
Everything's turning to Elmo.
scrutiny.
Yeah, sir, I believe you are a fellow of the Royal Society. Are you not an expert in your field?
I am, and my word on the matter can be considered final. Instantaneous kinesis is poppycock.
So, this expert and Mr. Sholmes are in agreement. It's impossible.
Yeah, what is the prosecution's view on the matter?
The prosecution would assert that the accused's instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a success.
What? What did he say? Rick Roll?
Never gonna give you up.
Never, what rot, he said. Never gonna let you down, never gonna turn around and accuse you. Order! How does Arnold say order? Order! Order!
The professor's hypothesis is currently under investigation by the British government. If it is deemed to have merit, a substantial research grant would be made available.
Dun, dun. We did it. Thanks for all the support. 10 out of 10. I don't know what the goals, like the thing just always does on its own. I don't really know how it works, to be honest. Maybe I could look into that someday. But does it mean I've gotten a new follower? I don't know. It just said 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 stream.
The accused made use of the invention built on his new hypothesis to take Mr. Assman's life, in order to be the sole benefactor of the grant.
But,
This disastrous demonstration was no accident. It was carefully designed from the outset to end the life of the victim. Oh, we've got a little Baroque voice change. 'Cause why not?
yeah, thank you, Lord Van Zieks. The prosecution's stance is clear. But you will now bring forth witnesses to substantiate your claims and terminate this accused.
Gladly, my lord.
Little fruity.
Ah. Bailiff, show the first witness to the stand. What is it good for? Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir. I'm Gretchen. My name is Tobias. Hello. Tobias Gretchen, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. I was on duty.
I was on duty at the demonstration on the day in question and in charge of the following investigation.
Hi, hello. Albert Harebrain. I'm a scientist. Yes, that's me. I am. You were born in England, but have been carrying out research in Germany in recent years, which is where you picked up your accent, which is totally law accurate, isn't it? Correct? Yes, that's right. Yes, I've been living there so long, I've just adapted to the local vernacular. After graduating from university here in Britain, I went to work in Germany and made an amazing discovery, which is what brought me back. I had to demonstrate my incredible hypothesis at the Great Exhibition.
What you demonstrated was incredible, all right? An incredible explosion.
But the science was a success. The instantaneous kinesis worked. Everyone saw it. They must have done. Yes, there was a terrible accident. I know, with lots of flesh wounds and stuff. And that's terrible, and I do apologize for that, but that was not intentionally. The demonstration of my hypothesis was a success.
Well, that much is undeniable. As shown in this photograph taken by the forensic investigation team.
Ooh, that looks like a dead person.
Yeah, this was taken inside the Crystal Tower, I take it. The centerpiece of the exhibition, no less.
That's right, my lord. Seems the victim rammed straight into it. I see.
Very well. Submit the photograph as evidence.
Has been entered into the court record.
As the court heard, the victim of the incident was Mr. Odie Assman.
There have been a number of allegations made against the man, but putting them aside for the time being, he was the man who financed the research for the experiment and the demonstration itself.
I see. So to summarize the situation, the defendant is accused of taking the life of the man who funded this work. Would that be correct?
Exactly. But couldn't it be that the explosion was caused by some malfunction in the apparatus used for the demonstration? That's right, that must be it. My splendid machine. My poor splendid machine. You saw it yesterday, didn't you? We can't even examine the wreckage thanks to the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act being all hooty-tooty mighty-tighty, huh? I've been a police officer for ages and I'm damn bloody good at it and they're stopping me from doing my work. I don't think he's very good at it, but he's full of himself. Was? The wreckage.
Would that being the case, how long the facts
Arnold has escaped the room.
How can the facts be established? How can it possibly be determined whether this was an accident or a deliberate and malicious act?
Extremely simply, my lord.
Oh, you beg your pardon?
Isn't that right, witness? Sorry, me? No, your neighbor. God.
Yes, sir, it was murder. Plain and simple. Anyone could state that with complete certainty.
What? How can he possibly think that?
Thank you, Inspector. I think we had better proceed to formal testimony. You will explain to the court on what grounds you claim this experiment to have been a front for murder.
Witness testimony, it's time to confront the murder.
The corset went crashing through the crystal tower, had a broken neck.
I made a minor miscalculation in the angle of the beam projection, that's all. That was my mistake, just a minor error.
But a post-mortem examination revealed another injury, a fatal wound. There was a lesion in his chest where he'd clearly been stabbed by something sharp right in the heart.
So the victim was killed before he went anywhere.
And this fella is the only one who could have done it. Mysterious.
No, that make me lose my wick of my head. Extraordinary business. In addition to suffering a broken neck, the victim was stabbed in the heart.
Information I would really like to have heard from someone other than the judge.
The coroner says death would have been all but instant from a wound like that.
You could say, in fact, that the victim was killed twice by the accused. No, that could be further from the truth. I have here the experiment plan document that was submitted to the security team.
Easy, our love bot. I'm sure you're not actually a bot, are you? How you doing? Welcome.
The victim stood himself inside something called the bird cage, ready to be beamed instantly to the second level of the Crystal Tower, about 25 yards away. The experiment did not...
Oh, wait. Oh, this is Van Ziek's now. I got confused for a moment.
The experiment did not go according to plan, however. As the machine was put into operation, there was a large explosion. very large indeed. The blast caused the beam transmitter to point higher than intended. Accordingly, the kinesis resulted in the birdcage materializing in midair. Lovely animation. From where it subsequently fell, crashing through the glass of the Crystal Tower's large round window.
My word. One assumes the victim's neck was broken on impact with the tower then.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. The machine was just too powerful. But honestly, really, I swear it was just an accident. A terrible accident. Unfortunately, that excuse can't save you.
No, not considering the sharp murder weapon that pierced the victim's heart.
Murder weapon? What are you saying? This is the autopsy report submitted by the coroner. The prosecution would like it entered into the court record.
Your request is granted, counsel.
The autopsy report has been entered into the court record.
Aw. Yeah, brain. Oh gosh. Ryunosuke also didn't have a very good posture, did he?
I was there in person, you know.
Ah, I know what voice I give this man. It's from Diablo.
Stay a while and listen. I was there in person, you know. I saw the whole ludicrous performance. And the only other person on the stage with Mr. Assman was that disgraceful excuse for a scientist.
Then really, by all accounts, it must have been him.
Yeah, hard to think otherwise, really. Oh yes, that's what it's going to be. He's going to be a little bit. He's going to be like a little bit like the person that you guys want to do when you do like what is it called, like an auction, and one do here to one here to.
Very well. Counsel for the defense, proceed with the cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord. I need to focus here. It's been a while. Focus, focus, focus.
Affront for murder. The corpse that went crashing through the Crystal Tower had a broken neck.
Wait, what are even my things that I can present? I have the diagram, I have a torn piece of canvas, I have the photograph, autopsy report, okay. Hemorrhage of a wound to the chest that pierced the heart, inflicted by a sharp implement. Additional, a broken vertebrae, most likely result of an impact of a sudden fall from considerable height. Okay. And what the hell is this thing? I don't even know what this is. It kind of looks like he was shot with this. This looks like a, what's it called? I can't think of what it's called in English. In German, it's an Armbrust. It's a bolt shooter. What is crossbow? That's the bolt shooter. A crossbow. That's what it is. I think bolt shooter also works, doesn't it? Ah, there's some sort of lever here. Not bold shooter, a bolt, because it shoots bolts. I was just thinking of like Diablo or like you know, Dark Souls, because you have bolts and arrows. So the arrows are shot by an arrow shooter, and the bolt shooter that you have an arrow shooter and a bolt shooter. Why are they not just called arrow shooter and bolt shooter? Anyway, there's some sort of lever here. There we go. It is a crossbow. I could tell. What is this? Welling up inside me. It's kind of... Oh, wait, no. It's a different monologue. Looks like a cross between a bow and a gun. It's a cross between a bow and a gun. Is that why it's called a crossbow? Because it's a cross between a gun and a bow? I think it's probably used for the same thing, too. Right, so we've got a weapon that we found. It seems likely that he might have been shot with that. So this is definitely an interesting piece of... It looks like you wind this around in order to draw the bowstring back and create tension. You must be able to fire arrows with a huge amount of force using this device then. In fact, I would imagine it's far more accurate and powerful than a Japanese longbow. Ugh, I really had no idea what I was picking up when I spotted this at the exhibition grounds. This groove here must be where the arrows are loaded. They're called bolts, I suppose. So I was right. It's a sort of bow with an automatic firing mechanism. This would be perfect for someone like me who catches his ear with the bowstring 2 times out of 3. In fact, if I'd had one of these, maybe I could have beaten Kazuma in Kyudo archery training. Aww, still thinks of Kazuma. He's right here, you know, everything's fine. Right, and we have got a torn piece of canvas. It looks like layers of thick canvas with a thick rubber lining of sorts. I've never seen anything like it before, but applying Mr. Sholmes' methods, you might deduce it was part of a raincoat worn by someone who really, really didn't want to get wet. The charring must have occurred when the person was struck by lightning. Or maybe not. Okay, so that's all we've got on here. So it's not what he was wearing, is it? It's not a piece of him. Then we got the paint picture here. Very good. And we got the newspaper. That's old news. Right. Made a minor miscalculation in the angle of the beam. Let's just see if we have an inkling. Another injury, a fatal wound. So could this have been hemorrhage of a wound to the chest that pierced the heart inflicted by a sharp implement? So that sharp implement could very well have been shot by the crossbow, possibly. And the crossbow was found at the bottom. So that is kind of like indication maybe that something else happened, because there was initially somebody said something about how the only person near Asman was Hairbrain. But if there's a crossbow, obviously that proves that you didn't have to be right next to him. Anyway, a fatal wound. There was a lesion in his chest where he'd clearly been stabbed by something sharp right in the heart. So the victim was killed before he went anywhere, and this fella's the only one. So I guess I could just present the crossbow. Obviously, maybe we should press a little bit more, but I think the crossbow might be what we need to present here. That is my prediction. Hold it! So let's just see what else we've got. Are you suggesting that's because he fell from a considerable height?
Exactly. Which highlights something else about this whole rum business.
What's that?
The fact that the instantaneous kinesis itself was a success.
After the explosion, a cage with the fella inside suddenly appeared out of nowhere in midair.
So, although the experiment ended in disaster, the so-called instantaneous kinesis did actually occur.
Remind us, Professor, what was the cause of the fatal disaster? I made a minor miscalculation in the angle of the beam projection. That's all. That was my mistake.
So the angle of projection is critical, is it? And you calculated it yourself, personally?
Absolutely. The calculation is far too complicated for anyone but me to carry out.
Only, you got it wrong, didn't you?
Yes, that's right. That's the point. The calculation is so complicated, even I can make a mistake.
Do people fall for that brazen confidence?
I should try it. I took into account the subject's height and weight,
The wind directions, the ambient temperature, everything. I considered every possible variable, so I just don't understand how this could have happened. Obviously, then, you had to include the weight of the clothes Mr. Assman was wearing at the time, I suppose. Oh, shit. Ryunosuke just pointed out his mistake. The answer should have been 3. So much for safety first. The 3 must be for safety third.
All right. Post-mortem examination revealed another injury, a fatal wound.
Another fatal injury, you say? That doesn't make any sense.
I didn't think I'd have to spell this out, but here we go. Just because there were 2 fatal wounds doesn't mean I'm saying the victim had 2 lives to lose, does it? 2, right? Obviously, at first, we thought the bloke had died due to his spine snapping in half as well.
You're saying that's not the case?
You'll get your answer once I finish my fish and chips, if you don't keep buttoning every few seconds.
We all know that's a bottomless bag.
It's true. Yeah.
The victim plummeted 30 feet into a glass tower. It would be reasonable to assume that as a cause of death.
Right, that's what we all thought. But it was a red herring, wasn't it? There was a lesion in his chest, where he'd clearly been stabbed by something sharp right in the heart.
The defense knew nothing of this crucial information.
The prosecution received this report from the forensic investigation team early this morning. That was the first we knew of it as well. I can only apologize for the impossibility of informing the defense. So sorry, dear.
Sarcastic and insincere. Thanks. So, what was the... Oh! It's going like this, but there's no armband. There's no armband anymore. So sad. So sad. So, what was the nature of this sharp object?
Among the accused's tool...
Ooh, Auroris Borealis, welcome back. It's the armband isn't there because we have a different costume now.
Among the accused's tools
That we can change it back again at some point.
Among the accused's tools that were in use at the demonstration, one is of particular interest. This.
Oh, yes, that would appear to be some kind of screwdriver.
There he is. My trusty little companion, Andrew.
Andrew, of course.
Do you know each other already? He's one of my dear friends, like all my tools. I've named them all, you know. I'm not crazy, that's very normal. We are one big happy family. This is my gamepad. It's called Henry. Hello, Henry, say hi to everyone. Hello! Andrew is my flathead screwdriver, of course. His brother Michael is a crosshead, because he always gets cross.
Well, it would appear that your beloved Andrew has a red stain on his shank.
Ah, that isn't...
It's blood, beyond all reasonable doubt.
No.
And that's not all. The long, sharp shape of this Andrew fellow is completely consistent with the victim's wound.
What? Oh no.
Order! Order! The court will enter this friend of the defendant as evidence.
So, one of Professor Hairbrain's tools is the murder weapon? Great.
So we'll have a look at this. I wonder if this thing could have been in the crossbow. This is blood. Mr. Assman's, no doubt. This is the problem with looking at murder weapons. Okay. Makes sense. I've seen this unusually shaped handle before. It's the same screwdriver that was lodged in the grill on the floor of the kinesis machine. But did it have blood on there then? Maybe somebody added it, which could be important information, so I should definitely make a note of it. Maybe somebody added it later. Hold it! What grounds do you have for saying that?
You really need to ask. There were only 2 people on that public experimentation stage in front of the whole crowd. The victim, Mr. Odie Assman, and the accused, Professor Harebrain. And we know for certain that before the experiment, the victim was alive. Stay a while and listen. That's right. I saw him with my own eyes. Furthermore, following the explosion and kinesis, nobody went anywhere near the body.
Yeah, I definitely have to present the crossbow.
In other words, only someone else on stage with the victim could possibly have done it.
Excuse me!
What'd you say to that?
Professor Harebrain, do you have some information that may be relevant here? And I'm just suddenly thinking, I thought I could just hold it for the rest of the stream, but I need to pee again. So I'm gonna be back in 2 minutes. Then we do a little bit more before we finish up for the day. So I'll be right back. It was so silent, wasn't it? Usually I stop when there's music in the game, and this time there wasn't. Right, do you have some information that may be relevant here, Mr. Harebrain? Tell us, Mr. Harebrain. Professor... oh, what? Sorry, tut mir so leid. Let me have a look. I was just calculating the optimum coefficient for electrolysis or to separate molecules in the human body. And the witness stand is the best place for that? It seemed as though you might have something to say about Inspector Gregson's last remark? Yes. That's right, of course. He just said that nobody else could have done it, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Who else could have stabbed the victim, eh?
I don't know, but there's no way that I could possibly have stabbed Mr. Assman, as you say.
Eh?
Explain, please, Professor. Of course, yes. This cold-hearted policeman may not be aware, I suppose. But humans are warm-blooded mammals with blood running continuously through their veins.
I had heard. I'm very educated, you know.
Then, surely, you see, if I'd plunged something the size of Andrew into the man's chest, the whole stage would have been a bloodbath. No, a blood swimming pool. After this, press on a random statement and pursue Harebrain when you don't need to. There's a special animation. Ooh, I want to see a special animation. That sounds like a fun idea. But thousands of Londoners were watching me at the time. And yet, not one of them claims to have seen a swimming pool of blood.
Well, no, I suppose not.
You see? Not one. Why is he doing experiments in the jury stand?
True, I didn't see anything like that.
Well done, Professor. That was a great counter-argument. He kind of did my job for me. Whoopsie daisy.
Order!
All right, you're gonna throw a tantrum again, huh?
Pray, forgive the discourtesy.
Wait, should we do some pouring sounds?
Forgive the discourtesy if I savor a drop from my hallowed chalice to accompany my old friend's deducing.
That just sounded like I was peeing, didn't it? That didn't really sound like wine.
I don't even know what deducing is. What the hell is deducing? Here's to you, Albert. You're too kind, Baroque, but I'm really not a patch on you.
Oh.
No. You're not. No? You've neglected to mention one crucial possibility. I have? A particular situation in which very little bleeding would result from a stab wound. Of course. Inspector, enlighten the court, please.
Yes, sir.
Where are they going with this?
Well, very well. You will amend your formal testimony now, Inspector Gregson. The weapon the victim was stabbed with must have been left in his body whilst he was beamed through the air.
But we found it on the stage. So that can't be true. Because they didn't find it inside him, did they?
Hold it!
Why would you think that, Inspector? So if I now do that, now I pursue him, but then we'll just go back to it again.
Excuse me!
What do we get now?
Professor Hairbrain, are you hiding something from the court? It's four! Oh. I ate my notes.
Oh dear. What was that?
I was calculating the neutralization coefficient of electrical charge required for electrolysis of the human subject. I have to keep the result a secret at all costs, you see. That's why I ate the paper I did on my working on. Yes, keep it secret. But now, I've completely forgotten the number. Dear me, I'm a scatterbrain. Sometimes. Just once or twice, not always. Well, moments before you ate the paper, you did yell out the number 4. No! You know it! You know my secret coefficient! Oh dear. Oh no. This is bad. Oh my goodness. Oh no. What do I do now? Oh my god. Perhaps you could just focus on the testimony, please, Mr. Hairbrain, yeah?
Dear Lord. Okay, no, that's all that. I had no idea the victim had been stabbed. That changes everything. Did Van Zieks keep that to himself until now on purpose to gain the advantage? Oh well. I suppose all I can do is press the witnesses for as much new information as possible. So I will still have to press the last. I haven't pressed on the last thing yet. That was a fun suggestion, though. Amazing Ichiro. That was you, right, who suggested that? That was really nice. That was really fun.
Hold it!
So if you, like, whenever you have things like that, you're welcome, because that is not like that's not a spoiler or a, I don't call that backseating. That's just like, I guess, Easter egg suggestions. That's cute. Why would you think that, Inspector?
With any wound, it's only when you pull the weapon out that profuse bleeding occurs. Whilst it's still lodged in the body, it acts as a stopper of sorts, for want of a better word.
I see.
You don't need a medical degree to be aware of this fact. It's common knowledge for any investigator.
We did talk about this though, wasn't it the... Oh, but Ryunosuke wasn't there. It was the first case of 2 where... Yeah, Ryutaro argued, like, because... Yeah. What was her name again in the first case? Susato's friend? Was it Ray? Or something? Who knew not to pull out the knife. That's what it was. It was Ray. Yeah, Ray Membani. See, I remembered without checking. It just came back to me. Where's Susato-san when you need her? Yeah, she would know, wouldn't she?
If you ask me, this bloke masked what he was doing from view with his body before stabbing ass man in the chest. Not in the ass. Then he beamed the victim off the stage with his fancy device. The screwdriver still weighed planted it.
But we found it on the stage.
I would never do such a thing. Not to my precious tools. I would never use them for such dirty work. You only use tools for their intended purpose. That's common knowledge for any scientist. The fact remains the lack of blood at the scene can easily be explained, as the prosecution has demonstrated.
But why did we find it on the stage? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Okay. So... is the information here now that was found poking at the grill base of what remains of the kinesis machine? So, I think possibly instead of this... I mean, maybe this comes in play later, because it might have been that he was shot. But for now, also the fact that this was found at the base of what remains of the kinesis machine means that it was pulled out at the base of the kinesis machine. So the blood should have been there, which is why I think I should... It wasn't left in his body while he's being put there because we found it. So that makes sense to me.
Objection!
Silence.
You say that while the weapon remains in the body, there's very little bleeding. Is that unequivocal?
Look, there was no blood on the experimentation stage, even though that's where the fellow was stabbed.
We literally found the thing, and you took it from us, so... Gregson is a shit detective. He's a shit inspector. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's an idiot.
The only explanation for that is if the screwdriver was still in his body, stopping any heavy bleeding.
It's common medical knowledge, my learned friend, even on your side of the world.
Oh, little dig again, innit? Yes, but about this screwdriver. Oh, average cop, I'm afraid. Yeah, maybe that's... I don't know. I've never been involved in cop... Hold on, actually. I've had interactions with police officers. And I actually, to give some credence to people, my bag was stolen once in a bar. And they had some CCTV of the person and found his face. And then I reported it to the police. And they got the CCTV footage. And they could identify the person. But they didn't know who it was. And I spoke to the police officer, and she said what they did is they would circulate the image to other police officers. And I was like, well, but that, like, so then they're not going to find the person. And she said to me at the time, it's like, well, actually, you'd be surprised. Oftentimes, these thieves, some local police officers might know them. And it turned out they did identify the person. They found the person who stole my bag, and he ended up going to trial, I think. So anyway, so sometimes they manage to find people. I was quite impressed by that. Anyway, yes, but about this screwdriver, the thing is, we actually saw it at the scene ourselves on the experimentation stage.
I didn't get my bag back. No, the bag was gone. That was the thing also I was annoyed about. I didn't get like any money from the person or something. I'm kind of like yeah, maybe he should be punished, but also I should get like compensation or something because he stole my bag, you know? Anyway. But yeah, the bag was gone. Bag was gone. But you could see in the CCTV that he took it, basically. You saw in the CCTV, you saw the crime, which was kind of weird to see. Anyway. What just happened? Oh, he's not happy about that. It was on the floor by the wreckage of the machine poking through a metal grill. I went to pick it up, but the detective here stopped me. Oh yeah, you're right to be smug here. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson? Now you come to mention it. Yes, Inspector, are we to understand that you permitted the defense counsel to investigate? Oh, so suddenly it's not the problem that the evidence is not showing the thing that you're wanting it to show. Suddenly it's the fact that we know about it. This is all looking very bad for you. I hope the jury sees this and is like, yeah, screw you, Van Zieks. That you contravened the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. No, not at all. I wouldn't do that. No. Just let him look. Nothing more. It was very clear he wasn't to touch anything. Yes, that's true. This screwdriver was in plain sight on the stage. But it shouldn't have been, should it? What are you getting at? If this tool had still been in the victim's body when the victim was beamed away by the machine, then it shouldn't have still been on the stage. That's right. It should have been beamed across to the Crystal Tower along with Mr. Assman. Dun dun dun. Ooh! And been found still lodged in the victim's. Oh, he has a mouse on his shoulder. He's got a little mousey. However, not seen this before. I've only just saw that. That is very cute. Choo! Choo!
Order, how do you explain this, Inspector?
Maybe that means I should have it somewhere on my shoulder?
I don't,
It looks as though everything that the victim had on his person moved with him when he was beamed. If the screwdriver was still in his chest when the instantaneous kinesis occurred, obviously, that should have been beamed to the destination as well.
You.
This is a strange situation. Even though people are saying that this instantaneous kinesis is a scientific impossibility, we're still basing arguments on the assumption that it did actually take place. All right. Time to tighten the screws here. My lord, if the prosecution is unable to explain this inconsistency in its argument, we can only conclude that the testimony given in support cannot be relied upon. Oh, he's very angry. Very angry. Look how angry he looks. He looks well angry. Very, very angry. Lord Van Zieks is stopped.
Do you have Something to say, witness?
So he does have a voice, does he? It's like,
Yes, I knew it. It bears out. The equations hold. Mr. Naruhodo, don't worry.
about what?
Without delving into the details, there is no inconsistency.
What?
Even if Andrew had been lodged in Mr. Assman's chest,
My trusty tool wouldn't have moved.
Andrew remaining on the stage is consistent with my calculations.
Oh my god, so he's just... He's... oh my god. This guy's a fucking moron. Oh my...
It would seem your illusions have been shattered. Clearly, we should hear the accused's explanation.
And maybe we shall leave that for the next stream, where we get the detailed explanation of why Albert Hairbrain is such a harebrained idiot who is willing to put himself in the firing line like that. What? Dun dun dun. I'm sorry. I mean, like, there has to be a cliffhanger at some point, because otherwise, you know, like I stream for like 20 hours at a time or something until it just gets to the end. We can't do that, right? We can't do that. We have to find a good moment. And I think like these cliffhangers are good moments, aren't they? Aren't they? But this was really fun. And yes, like I said before, I'm going to be on the Save Data team stream on Monday night, or it's going to be night for me, and also evening in the US. And so if y'all wanna join that, also you can join my Discord or follow me on my socials and whatnot. What are we doing? Do we wanna what do you call it again? Raid someone? Is there anyone we want to raid? Oh, Mia is streaming. I didn't realize Mia was streaming. Does it mean all our mods were doing double trouble? LC, Kitchen, Noodle, were y'all being like mods for two people at the same time? Y'all are amazing. Look at you. Oh, and James is streaming again as well. Oh, thanks for the cheers. Out of curiosity, let me check if anybody is also playing Great Ace Attorney, because sometimes that's fun. But then sometimes also they're like, oh, I actually played in Japanese, so yeah. No, never mind. Let's Crazy Hazy is also playing. Crazy Hazy. Should we say hi to Crazy Hazy? I haven't seen Crazy Hazy in a while. Let's say hi to Crazy Hazy. I like Crazy Hazy. Crazy Hazy had good vibes. Obviously, I like Mia as well. I love Mia. Mia's my good friend. But let's just spread the love. Crazy Hazy. So we'll do that. And then I'm gonna say goodbye to you, and I'll see y'all on Monday. And then maybe on Wednesday, I'm going to do Wukong. That means still, even though I don't continue with Great Ace Attorney next week, there's going to be an Ace Attorney stream with me next week. Just saying. And I'll send in y'all all my loves. And I'm catching y'all soon. See you on the other side. Alrighty. Oh, and we haven't done any of the other reactions. Balloons or lasers and all of them. But I catch y'all very soon. Goodbye, my lovers. Goodbye.